Thomas Wade visits Raj and tells him that he needs him for a very important mission. Wenji informs Clarence that the Senti weren't coming for over 400 years. He wonders why she invited the aliens to come to Earth, and she explains that their civilization is no longer capable of solving its own problems. She adds that the Lord allowed Clarence to capture her, which means she is no longer valuable and what she knows is not a threat. It turns out Mike Evans is Vera's father, and Wenji hid the truth from her because she claims her daughter wasn't strong enough. Clarence points out that it takes 4 years for a radio signal to get from Earth to the Senti's planet, and another 4 to get a response. But Evans spends most of his life on a ship. He surmises that there is a faster way to communicate, but faster than light communication is impossible. Wenji wishes she could show Clarence what the future looks like. Wade and Clarence believe that Evans keeps a record of his communication with the Senti. They have 400 years to come up with a plan, but they can't plan without intelligence. Clarence points out that they need to get their hands on the hard drive, which is somewhere on Judgment Day. Clarence shares that Judgment Day just booked a slot at the Panama Canal Authority for next month. Mike Evans still tries to contact the Senti and promises that he'll continue to serve them, but the aliens refuse to speak to him again. Clarence needs Augie to resume production on the nanofibers, as he has one shot to stop Evans. Augie does as he says, and the numbers don't come back. She is thrilled and hugs him. Clarence surmises that the Lord has stopped protecting his flock. Will learns that Jack left him half of his estate, which amounts to £20 million. Saul advises him to find the best oncologist and the latest treatments. Will says that his cancer spread too far and he doesn't want to spend the time he's got left flying around, getting jabbed, prodded, and scanned. In Panama, Raj's team installed the nanofibers across the canal 26 hours till the Judgment Day passes. Augie wonders if there is another way instead of killing innocent people on the ship, but Wade reminds her that what's important to the human race is defeating an enemy coming to their world to take it for themselves. Later, Raj tells her that he thinks they're at war. The ship arrives and the nanofibers slice it to pieces, killing everyone on board. Mike Evans retrieves the hard drive but eventually dies while holding on to the gadget. Augie watches as the whole ship crumbles and sinks. Raj and Wade inspect the remains and find the hard drive intact. However, 2 weeks later, and the analyst is unable to crack it, as it's layered with quantum encryption that is 20 years ahead of theirs. Clarence advises him to crack it open to have a look inside. Just then, the hard drive opens. Clarence deduces that the aliens want them to see what's inside. They find a file called Sophon that consists of 100 petabytes, the equivalent of 100 million gigabytes. Wade informs Wenji of Evans' death and the destruction of their ship. She believes the Senti are coming to save them from themselves. He hands her a recording of the conversations between Evans and the Senti. Wenji realizes that the Senti stopped trusting humans as they're afraid of them. At the Black Palace, Wade shows Jane the Sophon file and wonders what it means. They both put on the VR helmets in order to see what the Senti want to show them. They find themselves in a desolate cityscape. Sophon explains that the Senti don't look anything like she does. She reveals that her species is doomed, because their fleet will take 400 years to reach Earth, and by the time they do, humans will have surpassed them. Sophon explains that humans will destroy their fleet, then come back and destroy their world to make sure they never threaten them again. Wade surmises that the Senti have figured out a way to disarm humans and keep them from moving forward. Sophon admits that they're going to kill their science using their Sophons. She explains that a Sophon is a proton that they have turned into a sentient computer. Jane thinks it's impossible to make a computer that small, but Sophon replies that the universe has more dimensions than the 3 they occupy. They're hidden and folded up far too small for them to see, but the Senti have the technology to unfold them. They can summon energies that humans can't imagine and focus them on a single proton. So when they unfold its higher dimensions, even a tiny proton becomes something very large. Wade and Jin see how the proton unfolds and contains the planet. Sofan adds that they make a mind as large as the world. Wade and Jin see how the unfolded proton glows, then speaks, saying that it is awake and aware and it understands its purpose. Then it returns to its original size. The Sofan explains that the Senti used all their resources to make 4 Sofans, 2 pairs of 2. Each pair is entangled, connected on the quantum level. 2 remained with the Senti, and the other 2 were sent to humans. Everything they see and hear allows the Senti to see and hear at the same time, even when they are light years apart. Because a proton has no mass, accelerating them to nearly light speed is easy. The Sofans entered the solar system months earlier, and they were sent to particle accelerators. They destroyed the science that could defeat the Senti. Therefore, the answers to the humans' questions become chaotic and meaningless, causing the suicide of Vera and the other scientists. In place of truth, the Sofans give humans miracles like the blinking stars. They wrap the humans' world in illusions, like when they made Augie see the countdown. The Sofans are everywhere, always watching, learning all of humanity's secrets and uncovering their lies. They vow to teach humans how to fear again. Wade and Jin take off their VR headsets and see as the monitors start to flicker. The Sofans hijack every screen in the world to broadcast a message to humanity, saying you are bugs. The Sofan unfolds and envelops the earth, reflecting its surface into the sky. An eye appears and Tatiana looks up at it and smiles.